I've never seen Marvel like this before. I've never seen anything like this before, actually. I think that not only is this something that Marvel is doing that is great for its characters, but I think that this is also another fresh take on the zombie genre. Double Toast is going to be doing a little tour. Going to be hitting 3 cities very soon. Atlanta, Georgia, that's October 11th. Going to be in Santa Monica, California, November 14th. And going to be in Seattle, Washington, December 12th. And you can get your tickets for those by going to x1entertainment.com/double toasted. Hey everyone, how you doing? Corey here, and I'm actually here in London. As you can see, I'm still in my hotel room right now. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. And if you've been watching the shows or listening to the shows, you know that I'm here to take care of my late cousin's estate. Speaking of which, I happen to have my cousin right here, or at least his ashes. Everybody, this is Jeff. Jeff, this is everybody. Say hello. And Jeff and I have been going around London. We've been having a lot of adventures together. I've just been going to see the city with him since I miss the guy so much. I'm like a crazy person. I've been walking around with this tube and talking to this tube like it's a actual person, man. Well, it's an actual person in there, but y'all know what I mean. And I don't care. I've been emotional. I'm not gonna lie. And that's why when I'm hanging out here, keep my mind off of things. I still do a little bit of work. So I still watch movies. I still watch shows. I still prep the show. And that's why I'm here right now, because I'm going to talk to you about something I just watched. And you know what? The thing I'm about to talk about right now, I hope I wasn't being disrespectful introducing this show after bringing up my dead cousin right here, because what we're about to talk about is Marvel Zombies. And before we actually talk about this, Jeff, he was a big guy. And this tube right here, his ashes weigh about 30 pounds. I'm getting a workout with this dude. So you're going to have to get your big ass down on the floor. I love you, man, but you got to stay down there for a little bit. Where were we? Yes, Marvel Zombies is what we're going to be talking about. And with this show, it's funny that this show came about at this time, because long before there was superhero fatigue, there was zombie fatigue. Everybody was tired of zombies way before they were tired of these superheroes. But then superhero fatigue did come around. And, it's very heavy on Marvel right now. I mean, no offense, but, everybody's complaining about Marvel right now because, DC seems to have their shit together and Marvel is still trying to figure it all out. Who would have known that had happened? But somebody had the bright idea to take these two fatigues that we have, mash them up together, and make everybody twice as sick and tired of these things more than we were before. But to be fair, Marvel Zombies was an episode of What If, and it was a very popular episode. So can't really blame them for thinking like, hey, let's make a show out of this. But I mean, that episode was a standalone thing. It was fun. It was a little novelty. Did we really, really, really need a show? Did we really need a series, a spinoff series of that? Well, that's what we're going to decide right now as we watch this trailer. I know we've seen it. Let's watch it again. And then I'll be back with my review of Marvel Zombies. Is there a virus infecting your system?
All the Avengers are dead. That's how you do that, Dan.
You know what, y'all? When I saw that, I said, that looks badass, man. And I wanted to actually love this because I used to be a zombie junkie, y'all. I used to be all about the zombies. I used to be on that Z. And I like to tell you how much of a zombie junkie that I was. I've said this before. I like to think that I'm the one that actually made The Walking Dead as popular as it is. I know I didn't, but every Christmas I was giving people these collector's editions of The Walking Dead, the comic, the graphic novel. And for people's birthdays, I was giving it to them. I said, you got to watch this, man, or you got to read this. Well, I'm saying watch. No, it was way before it was a TV show. I was giving people that comic book, man. And hey, listen, it's no shock to anyone if you've been watching me for a while. I was a self-proclaimed Marvel bitch. I used to love Marvel so much that people thought I was getting paid by that mouse. They thought I was getting Marvel checks. I'm sure that there's a couple of Reddit posts out there, people saying I was paid off, given that payola by Disney to kiss Marvel's ass and give these movies great reviews. Now, you know me, lately you've seen me be more critical of Marvel. But nevertheless, watching this trailer right here, I wanted this to be so good, man. I'm not even talking about excellent. I just wanted it to be, I just wanted it to be good. So I'm here to say to you that I did not think that this was good at all. I thought that this was amazing, man. I love this. I love this. And you know what? I know people who knew me back in the day when I was on that zombie shit. Y'all are saying, "Oh man, you just love this because it's zombies. You're back to being old Corey. You never stop liking zombies. Anything you put a zombie in something, that's all it takes for you to sit down there and just kiss them cheeks, man." No, people, let me explain something to you. Oh, okay, maybe I have a bias in here. Maybe my zombie nostalgia is kicking back in. I don't know what it is, but I think I can come in and justify why I like this so much, why I love this so much. And that is because I've never seen Marvel like this before. I've never seen anything like this before, actually. I think that not only is this something that Marvel is doing that is great for its characters, but I think that this is also another fresh take on the zombie genre. Zombies tearing up superheroes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't seen something where they've done that before, but I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've seen a big property like this where zombies and superheroes were mashed up together, and zombies were just tearing the shit out of superheroes. I love this concept, man, too. I love that this is a world full of superheroes, the best superheroes, the mightiest superheroes, the strongest superheroes, and they couldn't do shit about one zombie bite. They couldn't stop this virus at all. And I like this story right here, the way they set it up. I don't honestly remember what happened with the What If episode. I do remember liking it, so I don't know how much of a continuation this is of that. I know that it feels like with certain characters like Spider-Man and Ant-Man, Scott Lang, I know that they were, they had something of a cliffhanger, I believe, and that's continued in here. But I don't remember how much this character played a role in that. But that damn Wanda Maximoff continuing to be the biggest bitch in the MCU. First, he was tying Mr. Fantastic in knots and killing some superheroes in the multiverse of madness, and now she's the queen of the dead, and she's taken over the whole world. Most of the humans are gone, and that only leaves a handful of superheroes out there to save the world if possible. And I think that not only have they created something unique and original by combining superheroes and zombies, again, two things that people have complained about. I thought they've done a great job at doing something highly original right here with this. But I think that the reason why it works so well is because it works well as a comic book show, a proper comic book show, but also it works well as a zombie horror show. As you can see by this trailer right here, they are not holding back on the gore at all. They're not holding back on the kills at all. And at first I thought, okay, and they were doing some cool stuff here. I'm looking at like that shot that they had right here with Spider-Man. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, this is why they're not afraid to put Spider-Man in something like this. This is why they're not afraid to go in and get violent, because Disney, you saw how they opened up the trailer. Just bragging about, oh, look at this. We so grown up. We so mature. Ooh, we so bad. They are taking pride in that TVMA, and I think they've seen how DC has embraced some of the more mature and adult shows and movies, and I think that after Deadpool, they're thinking, okay, all right, we can do this. But even then, I thought that they were kind of cheating by doing this with zombies. They're technically already dead, so you can tear them up all day. You can do whatever you want to a zombie. I think even in some kids stuff right now, you can see zombies get torn apart all day. Uh, but then uh, they start to kill the heroes in here, and I'm not talking about just killing, man. I'm talking about these heroes. They got it bad, and it's not just the fact that they killed them. Things would be going bad already. Things would seem hopeless, and then you get one of the most badass superheroes come in, and you were thinking like, okay, they got this. Things gonna be all right, and they would get their ass torn up, teared up, and I'm not talking about like just that's bad right there. Yeah, I mean, the way they're getting ripped up, but they went as far as to just show people getting killed in way other ways, man. I mean, it's almost like, damn, Disney, you kind of enjoying this too much. People would get incinerated, obliterated, disintegrated. It was, and I mean, and it would look painful, even for animation. I mean, these people go out screaming in agony, and I was like, holy shit. Even I was saying, damn, Mickey, pull back a little bit. But and I enjoyed that they did this while also not, because the trailer makes it like they're just kind of relishing in this and just having fun with the violence. And a lot of the violence in here came with a lot of emotion when a character died. I mean, that's one of the great things about this. I'll get into this a little bit on how much they let you invest in these characters so that their deaths being as painful and gory and just gruesome as some of these deaths are, it kind of meant something. There was some emotion behind it. Because we're not just talking about disposable, no-name side characters in here. We're talking about major heroes, major characters, characters that we thought, oh, you'll never do them like that. Shit, right here in this world, yeah, they'll do that and a whole lot more. That means that anyone can go at any time. So, I mean, if they're knocking out one of the greatest superheroes out there, if you are a no-name side character, your ass ain't got a chance. But you'll probably have a cool death like that, as painful and miserable and gory as it might be. And when you go in first watching the show, you know it's going to be gory, but as I said, you think the violence is going to be mostly against the zombies, especially with the characters that we start out with. Because it starts out with some of the more family-friendly characters that we've seen on some of the TV shows and maybe making appearances in movies. And I'm talking about characters like Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, Riri Williams. These are, again, some of the characters that we wouldn't expect to see in something more mature. And when we do open up with these girls, I mean, they're all happy, they're all jolly, they're just having a girls' night out in Zombie Town. And then that first death happens, and it's like, oh shit. All right, if you're going to kill that character like that, and I'm talking about one of their more innocent characters or one of their more family-friendly characters, as I said, then no one else has a chance. Everyone's game after that. But as we progress with each new episode, they start bringing in more characters and new characters, and they all begin to form these teams since they're the last few that are left in this zombie infested world. And that's why this really works, because you know what? We're finally getting something that we haven't had with Marvel in a while, or something they haven't done well in a while, and that's these team ups. It's Marvel, I mean, sure, we've been seeing movies where the characters have been coming in and joining forces, and it's made it like the Marvels. I know some people like the Marvels, and I wasn't a big fan of the Marvels because what I thought they did wrong with the Marvels is that they were so busy trying to bring these characters together and kind of tease the next thing. That's what they're always doing at Marvel. They're always teasing and stinging and setting up the next thing, or something has been set up and the follow through wasn't done that well. With this, I think that they've got the team ups right, because we're not trying to set up something else. We're not trying to actually, carry over a story. Even though these are overarching stories and these characters are overlapping, this is mostly a standalone series whereas more contained in these episodes that we have right here. And they've done very well with that limited time that they've had. Oh, I hate to come in here and interrupt myself, but we do have to give a quick word out to our sponsor, which is a good thing because some of y'all got that habit. You know what I'm talking about. You're trying to break that habit. And that is why I'm glad to talk about our sponsor here today, Fume Zero, because they want to help you break that habit, which doesn't need to be hard or expensive. You just need the right tool to start, and that's exactly what Fume Zero is going to give you. It's affordable, just $24.99 USD for that sleek pre-filled device. No commitment, no refills, no batteries. It's completely clean, zero nicotine, zero vapor, just natural plant-based flavored air. And it's the first truly easy way to try the good habit. With 6 bold flavors and over 10 days of use, Zero makes it. They sent me the device and also the crisp mint flavor. I tried it. I don't even need this, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. I was just sitting up there trying it out and I got lost in it. So listen, if it's good for me, just imagine how good it's going to be for you. That's why I need to jump on this right now. Take zero chances with Fume Zero today. It's available for just $24.99 USD. Just head to tryfume.com. That's TRYFUM.com to start with Zero. I want to thank Fume Zero for sponsoring this portion of the review. I want to thank all of you out there, as usual, for all your support. And now back to them zombies. What I also love is that this is its own world. This is a whole different Earth. Now, I'm not nerdy enough to know what Earth this is. I know somebody's going to correct me on this. But whatever Earth this is, I love the way that these characters have adapted to it. You know, these characters have almost changed their personalities to adapt to this world. You know, some have become bandits. Some have become unlikely leaders. Some have become, they have formed allegiances with other characters that you wouldn't expect to have. And also these episodes, I love how they've taken some things that would consider to be old tropes within the zombie genre, and it feels new here the way they've done it. You know, some of the betrayals that they've had, you know, people that you can't trust within this world. You know, you've seen some of these characters before in the zombie genre. It just seems different when it's done with superheroes. And the fights in here are creative. That's one of the great things about having these new team ups here and having these characters being presented this way. You know, I love the way that they've gone in and remade some of these characters. Like, that's Captain America right there. And I love this scene with Captain America and his fight with Red Guardian. You know, because what they've done with Captain America, Red Guardian, he's still human. He's still old crazy ass Red Guardian. As you can see, Captain America has been zombified. And what you're about to see in this clip, not only he's zombified, but like half his body's missing. And I love that they've taken advantage of this character being a zombie and use that to give him more of a unique fighting style. Oh, you mother... I love that. I love that they, since Captain America is missing half his body, they gave him this old orangutan ass monkey fighting style. I thought that was really creative. And they do things where they combine that with some of the old things that he does. You know, he still has his shield. And when Red Guardian throws the shield back at him, I love that Captain America doesn't grab the shield, but because he doesn't have any legs, he just balls up and rolls behind the shield as the shield is rolling. I love that they put that kind of attention to detail in here. And I think that this director, and I don't remember the director's name. I know what else is new. I don't remember anybody's name. But I'm going to give this director a lot of respect, man. This director, I think he's amazing with action. I think that being in the realm of animation really helps just for him to just be free and cut loose. But I mean, listen, with CG and all that kind of stuff today, you know, you can do these same things in live action. And I would love to see what he would do in live action. I think he got pulled in as a consultant on Doomsday, or at least to give some feedback. And I hope that some of that is for the action we see in that movie, because the action is brilliant here, man. Episode 2 by far has the best opening than any other episode, in my opinion, because I think it had some of the best action for that opening. But also, I think it did a great job at combining very Marvel type stuff with a lot of zombie influences from other films. For example, they do Marvel type things like they have giant zombies, and I imagine they're giant because of the Pym particle. They're walking around the city just tearing things up, but they also do some things where it's an obvious influence from something like World War Z. I love that. I love the bodies falling from the ceiling. You know, man, it's combining so many things that we've seen before. You know, and we think that when you put those together, that it wouldn't equal something as refreshing as we've seen here. But you know, like that is from World War Z. As I said, you know, we've seen the people running through the city during the breakout, like it is to The Last of Us. I just thought they did some incredible things here. And as you can see, there's all different kinds of action. I mean, there's fighting action, there's superhero action, there's zombie action. And I think they just combine all this to make something really entertaining. And they made me like characters that I really wasn't crazy about before. I'm not going to say I wasn't crazy about them. Like Shang-Chi. I like Shang-Chi. And like the character. And I thought that they'd be bringing the character back a lot sooner for something. So it was good to see him here. And I like that they also brought back the original voices. Aquafina's back. Simu Liu is back. We also have Randall Park, and they're all funny. They all have really big roles here. They all, you know, they all have their badass moment. So even this has made me like characters that I thought were okay before. Here, I thought that they outshined what they did even in their movies. I know some people will say you're full of shit now, but I mean, hey, that's just me, man. Uh, One of the characters that is new here that I enjoyed a lot is Blade. Now, I would have liked more of an explanation for his change because he's not the Wesley Snipes Blade, all right? He's not the dude coming in the black trench coat. He does come in and he's badass with that sword. I mean, okay, so we get that badass Blade right there, but he's also combined with another character that we've seen before, Moon Knight. And they didn't really explain why, and I'm sure if you read the comics, they explain why and what happened and why he is combined and merged with this other character. It would have been nice to see them explain that, but then again, this is so fast paced that you don't even think about it after a while. I would say though, I will say that good job to the guy that voices Blade here, because it's not Mahershala Ali, who's, you know, was originally slated to be the new Blade. This guy, Todd Williams, he does a great job at sounding just like Mahershala Ali. And on top of that, I kind of wrote off the Blade movie. I'd heard so much about it. I was getting tired of hearing about it. I'm like, you know what? I don't care if y'all making it or not. In fact, don't. I don't even want to hear about Blade no more. And now I'm like, hell yeah, I want a Blade movie. I wanted to, I'm kind of mad at this show for making me like Blade so much again and making me want Mahershala Ali as Blade. It kind of pissing me off because now I don't know when they're going to do it, and I want that movie. So at least I got this Blade right here, and that's kind of cool. If I had another complaint about this, I actually do have some complaints about this. I got a few. You know, I've been kissing this show's ass since I started this. So let me tell you some things I didn't like right here. I think that the episodes, every one of them follows this pattern. Every episode ends with the sacrifice. You know, there's always one character left behind. Oh, go on without me. Save yourself. Leave me. I've lived a good life. I got a good death. Whatever. Every episode ends with a character doing that. And I don't know why I'm doing that accent because I don't think all of them have that accent. But you know, we've seen that again. If we're going to a trope that we see a lot in zombie shows and movies, especially movies. You know, there's always a character doing that sacrifice, usually the asshole, and they kind of do that here. Every episode almost ends with something like that. Also, and maybe there is an explanation for this. Maybe there is something that was mentioned that I wasn't paying attention to, but it seemed inconsistent to me that some zombies were mindless and then some zombies they were still mindless, but they still were aware of how to use their powers. Like Hawkeye. Hawkeye is like he's still a badass with the arrows, man, even though he's a mindless ass zombie. Uh Thanos, which is kind of cool to see a zombie Thanos, man. I mean, if nothing else, there's that. I think they even they knew that. I think they sold this I think they sold this trailer just by showing you a zombie Thanos, man. Even he kind of starts learning how to use his powers in here. And I don't have a problem with that. It's just sometimes that they seem like they just don't know what's going on, and then sometimes it seems like they are smarter than they were in a previous scene. Uh, also, I know that there was one more thing that I didn't like right here. Ah, hell, I'm nitpicking now. I will say this: I love that the way these some of these characters, their personalities still shine in this world. There's a scene where Spider-Man is making he's fighting these zombies. And one of the things about Spider-Man, if you know Spider-Man, the reason why Spider-Man wins every fight, yes, is because he has superpowers. Yeah, that's true. And yes, it's because he can flip and flop all over the place and he's got, superhuman strength. But also, he's a super shit talker. The guy talks so much shit that it just throws the person or the villain that he's fighting, it throws him off. And they just lose concentration because they're so pissed at him, and because he's cracking jokes the whole time. He's making fun of them, cracking jokes, just being annoying, and he wins a lot of fights like that. He's doing that with the zombies, and it's funny here because the zombies aren't aware of these jokes that he's telling. These zombies don't know what the hell he's talking about. But like he has one zombie, and he webbed his fist, and he makes the zombie hit himself. And normally, another would be like, "Stop that, Spider-Man! God damn it!" But with the zombie like, it's like, I don't know what impact that's supposed to have on the zombie. The zombie doesn't even understand your joke, but that's what makes it so funny. You know, that was my other complaint, and I knew it was a nitpick. I knew it was something that I didn't have to say, but I did find it funny. Okay, let's just call it an observation. It's not really a complaint. It's just this thing, as I said, it's very gory. It's very violent, and they're not holding back on the blood, the guts, the gore at all here. So I just thought it was weird that they showed all that, and not one time did one character look at something like that and say, none of these characters say the F word. None of them say, the worst they probably say is goddamn or shit. And it just feels weird that Disney still, with certain characters, does not want to cross that line. I think because they have certain characters in here, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just weird that, like, I think they want to keep some of these characters on brand, and yeah, they can listen. They can slice and dice and behead people all day, but saying the F word, saying that's where we're gonna draw the line. I just weird to me. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that it just stood out. I was talking to Martin about this the other day, and it didn't seem to bother him. So, like I said, it's just something, a little nitpick on my part. But I love this. I had so much fun. I was surprised by this. As I said, I was tired of your zombie ass. I was tired of superheroes. I had the fatigue set in me to a certain extent. And I went into this thinking like, you ain't gonna show me anything that's going, oh shit, that's amazing. I felt that this is getting that old Avengers team feel without the huge lead up, without the burden of teasing things, without having to come out of something that was already teased. This ends with a cliffhanger, so it does do that, but I don't think it's that kind of cliffhanger where we have those stingers from the movies. I feel like this ends on a spot that really wants to make me watch what they do next. I really want to know where this story goes, but at the same time, it left me very satisfied with what I have right here, and that is why I'm going to give this a high full price. I did not expect to like this as much as I did. I know you're saying I'm full of shit. I'm still a Marvel bitch. I'm still on that Z. I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to argue with you. But hey, if I wasn't back on it before, I am now if they keep doing it like this. Some of you've already seen this. So please let me know. Did you love it as much as I do? Did you not? Did you hate it? Am I full of shit? Well, we already know I am. But, let me know. Let me know. And hey, I will see all of you back in Austin very soon. I might even bring my cousin back with me. Hopefully he doesn't come back looking something like this. But I will see you all very soon. And thanks. Talk to you later. Stay toasted. Well, would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.